Gorgeous outside, and we want to go enjoy the nice weather.
Great. Hi. Good to see you. Sorry about the weather. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Oliver Sellers Garcia. I'm the Commissioner of the Environment Department and Green New Deal Director for the City of Boston. We are so excited to have everyone here today to launch the Boston Energy Saver. And we're testing your will. How much do you actually care about energy efficiency and renewable energy? These are the diehards here today, right? Okay, good. So the Boston Energy Saver that you'll hear much more about from our speakers today is a new program to unlock resources and help you figure out how to make your building more comfortable, efficient, and lower your energy costs. And this is the program we need right now. Winter is around the corner. High energy bills are on everyone's mind, and as you can see, the weather is changing rapidly. So we're going to hear from a few folks, of course, our Mayor, Michelle Wu, our Climate Chief, Brian Sweat, and our partners at the state, utilities, and community-based organizations that are going to pull this program together. We'll have a chance for some Q&A after that. I also want to point something out. You will very quickly realize over the course of the comments here that a lot of our speakers are going to be making some of their remarks in other languages. And that's for two reasons. We want to make sure everyone understands from the outset that the Boston Energy Saver is a multilingual program. And also because we need to recognize that historically, language access has been one of the greatest barriers to accessing energy efficiency programs in this state. Ahora voy a repetir justo lo que acabo de decir en español. Van a escuchar que mis colegas van a decir algunos de sus comentarios en otros idiomas, y eso es por dos razones. La primera es que queremos que se sepa desde el inicio que Boston Energy Saver es un programa multilingüe. Y también porque tenemos que reconocer que en el pasado la falta de inglés ha sido uno de los obstáculos más grandes para accesar los programas de energía, eficiencia energética. Y eso cambia desde hoy. So, with no further ado, I'll pass it to our Mayor, Michelle Wu.
Gracias. Thank you, Oliver, and thank you, everyone, for being here. We are going to try to make it through as quickly as possible to show you what we're talking about, but also so we can all warm up a little bit as well. I am so grateful to be here with all my colleagues in public service, many city departments and leaders and partners from all across the city who've come together to make this day possible. Thank you to our Chief Climate Officer for the City of Boston, Brian Sweat, and his entire team. Thank you to members of our cabinet who are here. I see our Chief of Housing, Sheila Dillon, Chief of Policy, Mike Firestone, and many others who have been involved. Thank you to Undersecretary of Decarbonization and Resilience, Catherine Antos with the Healy Driscoll administration, and you will hear as well from several of our partners. So thank you to Grace, Meredith, and Jenny representing our much needed and very exciting community side partners who are teaming up with us. Yesterday I was in an auditorium with several hundred of our city's leaders across every sector to talk about our young people. Our State of the Schools event focused on how we are going to deliver and make sure that every family has everything that they need. Here today we're talking about a different facet of that as well. In order for our city to be a city that's home for everyone, in order for everyone to afford taking care of their family and putting together all the pieces of their lives and accessing every opportunity, we need to be driving down housing costs and producing more housing. We need to be making sure that our schools are excellent and that before and after school care is affordable and accessible, that early education and child care is accessible to every family, and that energy costs are a part of the equation that are not going to push families' budgets over beyond the breaking point. We know costs are climbing, and that is everywhere that we look. Housing and healthcare, food and electricity, and too many of our residents and small businesses are feeling this crunch. More and more households are having to choose between paying the rent that keeps on rising or turning on the heat to keep their families warm. They're scaling back celebrations for anniversaries or championships because the electric bill is due. And too many of our entrepreneurs have to rethink their strategy the moment new energy rates come out. Our residents and businesses deserve a city they can call their own, and one they can confidently call home. And that's why at the State of the City address earlier this year, we announced the Boston Energy Saver, an innovative partnership with Eversource and National Grid to lower bills for renters, homeowners, and small business owners. And today, we're kicking it off. So our residents and business owners can tap into these new rebates, discounts, and incentives. No matter how you want to save, whether it's through upgrading your building by solarizing or electrifying, retrofitting, or weatherizing, our Boston Energy Saver team will be able to help. And so the one place that you can go to get information, regardless of anything that, if you don't remember anything that anyone says, remember this website, boston.gov/save. This can help you set up a free consultation and talk through the various options that are unique to your family situation. It can help you figure out your next steps for your business or your community and start lowering those energy bills. And as you heard mentioned by our commissioner, our team is ready to help find savings in 6 different languages, and we'll make sure that language access is not a barrier. For too long, these energy-saving upgrades have been out of reach for too many of our families. The Boston Energy Saver is here to fix that, because no matter where you live or how much you make, you should be able to heat your home, cook delicious meals for your kids, and take care of your family and business without worrying what the bill will bring. Okay, otra vez en español. Buenos días y gracias. Los costos siguen subiendo, desde la vivienda y salud hasta la comida y la electricidad. Demasiados de nuestros residentes y pequeños negocios sienten esa presión cada día. Cada vez más y más familias tienen que elegir entre pagar una renta que no deja de aumentar o encender la calefacción cuando bajan las temperaturas. Muchas personas han tenido que reducir sus celebraciones de aniversarios o de campeonatos porque la factura de la luz llegará pronto. Y demasiados emprendedores tienen que cambiar sus estrategias en cuanto cambien las tarifas de energía. Nuestros residentes y negocios merecen una ciudad que pueden sentir como suya, una ciudad que pueden llamar con confianza su hogar. Por eso, hoy nos enorgullece lanzar el programa Boston Energy Saver, para que nuestros residentes y dueños de negocios puedan aprovechar nuevos reembolsos, descuentos e incentivos. No importa cómo quieres ahorrar, nuestro equipo de Boston Energy Saver está aquí para ayudarte. Visiten el sitio web boston.gov/save, donde pueden programar una consulta gratuita y conocer sus opciones en español o otras lenguas. Porque sin importar dónde vivas o cuánto ganes, debes poder calentar tu hogar, cocinar comidas deliciosas para tus hijos y cuidar de tu familia, sin preocuparte por cuánto costará la próxima factura. So thank you so much to everyone who has made this possible. We're excited to use every resource and every dollar to make life more affordable and to make our opportunities more accessible for every family and every business in Boston. And now I will pass it over to our Chief Climate Officer, Brian Sweat.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you, Oliver. It is really exciting to be here today. I know the amount of work that Oliver and the team and our partners have put in the 6+ months since the mayor announced this truly innovative program to today where we're launching. So I am really excited to be here. Boston Energy Saver is focused on supporting building improvements that reduce resident and small business owner energy use, and thus reduce costs, reduce emissions, and improve health and safety for everybody. And this is really fundamentally accomplished through better access and supportive services for Bostonians to leverage nation-leading incentives and rebates that are available to them, but oftentimes undersubscribed. And these include Mass Save, the Boston Home Center, Boston Community Choice Electricity, and the Massachusetts Community Climate Bank's Energy Saver Loan Program. We know that Massachusetts and Boston face super high energy costs. And we also know that this is disproportionately impacting our low-income residents who often live in the least energy-efficient housing and building stocks. While Boston Energy Saver is available to all Boston residents and small businesses, we're particularly focusing our outreach and our marketing efforts on low-income households and those whose primary language is not English, because these communities, as was mentioned, have historically not been accessing the energy efficiency resources and rebates that are available to them. According to a recent study, the median low-income energy burden in Greater Boston is 10%. That means low-income residents are spending, on average, 10% of their income on energy use. The bottom quartile, so a quartile of low-income residents, the bottom quartile have an energy burden of almost 20%. $1 in $5 that they're earning is going to energy use. That is a staggering energy burden. And when the mayor talks about housing affordability in Boston, that is very much linked to energy affordability in Boston. So through this program, the root cause is actually being able to address people's energy use and reduce that energy use so they're less vulnerable to the volatility of energy prices. And through Energy Saver and in partnership with our great partners at Eversource and National Grid, we are aiming to achieve at least 5,000 heat pump installations and at least 10,000 weatherizations over the next 3 years. Focused on our smaller residential and business buildings and focus on those most energy burdened and those least energy efficient buildings. So this is fundamentally about energy cost and improving our buildings. This is also part of our climate story in Boston. So we are not only going to have a remarkable impact on energy burden of renters, homeowners, and small business owners, but this is part and parcel to our carbon goals. As many in the audience know, 70% of the city's emissions come from buildings. 30% is from smaller buildings that are not regulated, that are not the big buildings covered by BERDO, and we want to make sure that we're improving those buildings over time. Boston Energy Saver is thus another critical tool in our toolbox to accomplishing our climate change aims and doing it in a way that collectively is improving the building stock for everybody. Folks are looking to us for leadership and guidance in these challenging moments about how do you both reduce your emissions and reduce costs and improve quality of life for all, and folks are looking to Boston for leadership. This is another example of the Wu administration taking charge. We will only accomplish these goals through the collective action of Bostonians. So my message to folks is, if you have electric resistance heat, if you have an old oil-fired burner, if your house is feeling pretty drafty on a day like today as we're approaching winter, if you're concerned that you're not getting the right rate on your energy bill, or if you just want to make sure that you're accessing the programs that you've paid into to make sure that you're getting incentives back to take the actions you want, call us at Boston Energy Saver, email us 617-635-SAVE, boston.gov/save. We're here to help. We're here to make sure that you're able to make the improvements in your buildings that you want to. And with that, it's my pleasure to turn it over to our Commissioner and Green New Deal Director, Oliver Sellers-Garcia, for some more details on the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. So I'm going to share just a few more details about how the program works and how it's all come together and some of the key ingredients and help you understand how you will walk through this program. So one of the key ingredients is the Mass Save incentives that are better than they have ever been before. So whether that covers more incentives for renters or for the work that needs to be done before some of the energy systems are replaced, or better incentives for low-income residents. They're all so much better than they were before. For example, if you're in Allston, Brighton, Dorchester, East Boston, Fenway, Hyde Park, Mattapan, Mission Hill, or Roxbury, and you're in a building of under 15 residential units or 20,000 square feet of a commercial building, you're eligible for no-cost weatherization for the whole building. You're eligible for health and safety upgrades that are necessary for some other electrification and different kinds of building improvements. And you also may qualify for free heat pump installation. That's a game changer. Another critical ingredient to the Boston Energy Saver is the partnership that we have developed with Eversource and National Grid, as well as our departments across the city and community-based organizations. We're working together to really get the message out there. The incentives that I mentioned need to get into the hands of people in Boston, and we have the resources to help. There are too many agency partners here from within the city to name, but I'll just give you some examples of departments that really have a presence in their neighborhoods and trust with the people they serve, whether it's Age Strong, the Public Health Commission, the Mayor's Office of Housing, or the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Advancement. They can bring this message on some of the issues that they're already working on with the people of Boston and bring them into Mass Save and this program. We also have community partners such as BCAN, who you'll be hearing more from in a few moments, and we'll be releasing mini grants later this winter to bring more community-based organizations on board to help us reach different neighborhoods. And the third ingredient, I think, is a real change in the level of help and support that we are giving the people of Boston, whether it's our staff or our technical consultants who can help with much more thorny, in-the-weeds issues about your particular building. We're here for the long term. We will follow you on the journey that you take, and this is a real difference in how we can engage with the people who we're helping serve. So just quickly about that journey in and of itself, I want to give you a picture of how to start. Now you're hearing it for the third time, boston.gov/save. That's really important, or 617-635-SAVE. Give us a call, get in touch on the website. We'll schedule a 30-minute conversation to talk about what's on your mind, what are your questions, what are you concerned about, what to do first. Maybe you're already a few steps ahead. That's great. We'll meet you there and take you to the next level to help you level up as you make your building more efficient and more carbon-free. There's so many different things that we will be offering, but I just want to give you a flavor of a couple of them. Let's start simple with an energy bill checkup. We can go through your bill, see if you're on a third-party supplier who might be charging you too much. Is there a discount rate that we can help you get on quickly? That will have an immediate impact. Or maybe you're interested in a heat pump and you're trying to figure out how to work with a contractor. That's something ourselves or a technical assistance consultant can help you with, and also connect you with the incentives that work well with that contractor. And if you're looking for financing for some additional work, we can connect you with the Mayor's Office of Housing, HomeWorks Green program, or, as Brian mentioned, the Mass Community Climate Bank's Energy Saver Home Loan program, which offer both programs which offer very good financing or forgivable loans. There's many more options, but I want to give you a flavor of what it's like to work with us. So before I turn it over to our other speakers, I have a interminable list of thank yous that I think I'm going to abbreviate a little bit because of the weather. But I just want to thank Eversource and National Grid again for this partnership. I want to thank our partners who joined in an agreement that we signed with our utility partners to make this program possible, the Boston Climate Action Network, Boston Housing Authority, and the Boston Home Center. We have a multitude of community groups that worked with us over the summer to shape this program and its future. I'll just mention a few: Mutual Aid Boston, BECMA, the Alston Brighton Health Collaborative, Green Roots, Southwest CDC, Convent Square Neighborhood Development Corporation. The list goes on and on. I want to also thank the different departments that I mentioned that have been working with us. And finally, I can't leave the podium here without thanking my team: Brooks Winter, Deegan Larkin, Paula Casasola Mena, and Dima Mujahid, as well as the Do It team for their incredible work creating the outreach tools that you'll use. So now I'd like to turn it over to Catherine Antos, the Undersecretary for Decarbonization and Resilience at the Mass Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm thrilled to celebrate the launch of Boston Energy Saver. We all know reducing energy use and adopting clean heating solutions is deeply personal. We're talking about where we live, where we work, where we send our children to school. In Massachusetts, we are seizing the opportunity for buildings that are healthier and more affordable to heat and cool. And we're also embracing the local companies and the workers who are performing the assessments, who are weatherizing, and who are electrifying our homes and our businesses. Weatherized homes on average reduce energy use by 20%. That's real savings to customers. Over 500,000 homes have been weatherized through Mass Save since 2013. And this nation-leading program has delivered $34 billion in benefits, including avoided infrastructure upgrades that save all ratepayers money. This year's hottest day was June 24th. It's probably hard to think about it now as we're all shivering a little bit, but let's go back to June. It was the hottest day. The grid was at its peak. And during that time, energy efficiency was passively reducing demand by 10%. What that means is that in 1 hour alone, energy efficiency was generating $2.6 million in savings. So without energy efficiency, we likely would have seen more blackouts that day. So while it benefits everyone, energy efficiency and clean heating incentives matter most for low and moderate income residents. Yet income eligible residents, renters, and small businesses have historically underparticipated in these programs. The 25 to 27 Mass Save plan, as we've heard, it includes many enhancements to support these customers. So again, I want to thank National Grid and Eversource and all of the program administrators for these enhancements. Boston Energy Saver, it takes it a step further by providing one-on-one support, not only to access Mass Save, but also tax credits, loans through the Climate Bank, and other resources. This innovative program, we're excited about it at the state because it's going to yield lessons learned for how to equitably support residents and businesses across Massachusetts. EEA, in partnership with the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center and local partners, is also piloting a customer-centered approach to energy savings through the Home Modernization Navigator starting in Springfield and Lowell, with more cities joining soon. And through this work, we know that customers first want help understanding and lowering their bills, and that provides a really important entree into weatherization and clean heating technology opportunities. So with the Navigator and now Boston Energy Saver, we are working towards a future where residents and businesses can easily access the resources and get the help they need in the language they speak to make improvements that result in savings and healthier homes. Governor Healey's Energy Affordability, Independence, and Innovation Act further advances this work. When passed, it will take unnecessary costs off of bills and support customers in savings and innovation. The legislation also includes provisions to transform Mass Save, so program administrators, including Eversource and National Grid, can build on their success, more strategically deploy the program, and use innovative financing options that could save ratepayers billions over the next 10 years. The legislation also authorizes other tools to affordably access energy-saving technologies, including on-bill financing and enabling nonprofits to invest in energy infrastructure and share those benefits with host communities. Boston Energy Saver and programs like it help residents take control of their energy use and build the future that we want. Thank you, Mayor Wu, your team, and all the partners for your vision and leadership in this. Thank you.
And now we'll hear from Jenny Sansaran on the energy efficiency team at Eversource.
Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Sansaran. I'm a supervisor of equity, strategic partnerships, and workforce development at Eversource, a proud sponsor of Mass Save. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate the launch of the Boston Energy Saver program, a major step towards making energy efficiency more accessible and affordable for all Bostonians. The program was built with equity and impact at its core. It's designed to serve renters, homeowners, small businesses, and owners of small properties, especially in low-income neighborhoods, with solutions that reduce energy costs, improve comfort, and lower carbon emissions. We are here in the spirit of community, collaboration, and commitment. As the two Mass Save sponsors serving Boston, Eversource and National Grid are proud to align our energy efficiency efforts with the city's climate strategy. Yes, we have set ambitious goals, installing 5,000 heat pumps and weatherizing 10,000 buildings by 2027. But these numbers don't tell the whole story. This work is human-centered and community-driven. I want to give a big shout out to Hassan, Maria, Paulina, Brooks, and Grace, our boots on the ground in the heart of our Mass Save Community First partnership here in Boston. Through collaboration with the city, BCAN, and trusted local partners, we're reaching out with empathy, cultural understanding, and information in the languages and lived experiences that make Boston so vibrant, and in doing so, we're hoping to build a bridge of trust so that residents and business owners can feel comfortable reaching back out to us. The Energy Saver program shows what's possible when equity and environmental justice lead the way. It's one of the most ambitious utility and municipality collaborations in the country, and we are so proud to be part of it. Thank you to the City of Boston and all of our partners. We look forward to helping residents, business owners save energy, save money, and build a more sustainable future. And now I will say a few words in Haitian Creole. Bonjour tout le monde, c'est avec un pile plaisir que moi la jodi a pour me représenter Eversource. Pour nous lancer le programme ça qui c'est Boston Energy Saver. Un service qui fait pour aider tout le monde. Nous t'arrêtons pour locataires caille, propriétaires caille, petit business, pour économiser sur Bordeaux énergie et puis vivre plus confortable. Nous connaissons que la vie a cher. Bordeaux électricité et chauffage a monté et puis en pile famille a cherché façon pour faire économie. Mais aujourd'hui a gain espoir. Programme ça c'est résultat d'un partenariat solide entre Boston, Eversource et puis National Grid avec organisation locale que nous fait confiance. Nous pas seulement porter information, nous porter compréhension, respect et compétences culturelles. Nous voulons créer un pont pour les résidents ville Boston capables de se sentir à l'aise pour prendre initiative à propos de système chauffage ou bien système énergie. Service est disponible en plusieurs langues, y compris créole haïtien. Parce que nous croyons que toute voix compte. Souple, pas hésiter les villes là pour jouer une consultation gratis et puis parler avec un expert dans la langue. Nous là pour aider à jouer une bonne solution pour caillou ou bien pour business. Nous voulons pour faire économie. Nous voulons pour rendre caillou plus confortable. Et puis nous voulons pour un impact positif pour l'environnement côté où vivre là. Merci en pile. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Meredith Levy, Executive Director of the Boston Neighborhood Community Land Trust.
Hi, everyone. My name is Meredith Levy from the Boston Neighborhood Community Land Trust. We're a small organization with a mighty agenda, which is to try to keep people from getting pushed out of their neighborhoods. And we do it one building at a time. We have, over the years, we've been able to acquire 11 buildings in Dorchester. So we have 32 families living in our land trust, and we operate using a model of community control. One of the things that's really important for us is that people don't pay more than 30% of their income on housing. And we have a number of people who live in our buildings who are facing all the bills that the mayor and others have spoken of. So it's very important for us to make sure programs like this benefit our folks. When we purchase our buildings, we have triple deckers, we have a 6-unit and other sizes, but they're small buildings. And we know, just looking around, these are the buildings in Boston. And these are the buildings where people are at risk of getting displaced for a variety of reasons. So it's important for us to make sure these buildings remain in the hands of the neighbors that make up Boston's neighborhoods now. And we want to make sure these buildings are in great shape. We also know that climate justice intersects with affordable housing, and it's very important to us as to be stewards of that and to make sure that all these awesome programs don't miss this important population of Boston. How do we make sure these resources really benefit our folks? Over the last couple of years, we've had the opportunity to start making investments in weatherizing and improving our buildings through energy retrofits and improvements. So it's been quite a journey for us. We've learned so much, and in the last couple of years, we were able to, for one, through Mass CEC and other programs and working with Resonant Energy, we were able to do a major energy retrofit. So our building is now completely fossil-free. We're going to be putting solar panels. We're committed to making sure that the benefits do pass down to the residents, any savings. That's really important to us. And as we do this, we have to keep that lens of making sure that people aren't paying more bills, but they're able to benefit from these energy efficient homes with heat pumps and everything else, tight building envelopes. So that was a really great project for us to start this, and we're committed to weatherizing all of our buildings. When we buy buildings, they're oftentimes not in the greatest shape. There's a lot of deferred maintenance. So if we can get at the systems at the interior as well as the building envelope and really tighten up tighten up the buildings, that's the goal. So we're in the process right now of turning over a number of our heating systems using a lot of these programs. So we've got a couple of buildings right in the area, including 49th Speedwell, which is very close by, where we have old boilers and we're using oil, and we're trying to convert these into heat pumps as we speak. So this is a great time for us. We're committed to trying to convert all of our properties to be energy efficient, climate friendly buildings, as well as thinking about the landscaping, everything. We're really committed to this because that intersection of deep affordability and climate is really important to us and to the folks who live in our buildings. I do want to say it can be a bit of a maze, right, to try to figure out all these programs. And listening today, I've learned so much just about the different programs. I'm going to follow up. But one of the things that we just learned about, because it's brand new, is the Boston Energy Saver program. And that's pretty amazing, because when you're out there as a developer or an owner, you don't always know that these programs exist, and it can be money left on the table or projects deferred because we can't quite figure out how to pay for it. We're a tiny nonprofit. So knowing there's a phone number and a website that's now drilled in my head that I can just go to and call and pick up and call Brooks and the team and say, help us figure out, help us navigate this, is remarkable. It's a really important and valuable nexus for us because we don't necessarily know how to work it. So now we know we can, okay, we've got a person, a friendly person, a warm body who can help us project what we need, what program is there. So, okay, we're just very grateful that exists, and you can bet we're going to use it both. Wow. For our existing properties, as well as we're going to be acquiring more buildings, just like the ones that we have. We're committed to doing that. So having this as a resource, especially when we buy and we're going to do a rehab anyway, this is the perfect time to think about advanced energy improvements, our systems, the building envelope. So we're so happy that this exists. We're happy to be a partner. We look forward to us contacting you so that we can do more projects ahead. Thanks so much.
And finally, I want to ask up Grace Umaña, the Advocacy Director for Boston Climate Action Network.
Hola, buenas tardes, Boston. Mi nombre es Grace Umaña y yo soy la directora de Justicia de Energía en la Red Climática de Boston, mejor conocido como BCAN. Y durante 25 años nos hemos basado en la verdad de que la transición a la energía renovable solo funciona si el pueblo confía en que le sirve. Sin embargo, hay vecinos que encuentran programas como MASE confusos, que trabajan demasiado para sentir que tienen el tiempo para participar o que aún no ayuda a hablar de él. Y es allí donde estamos nosotros. Durante décadas, nuestra organización se ha dedicado a garantizar que la eficiencia energética sea posible para todos nuestros residentes. Y en estos tiempos, donde los gastos de energía nos abruman, cuando escuchamos Boston Energy Saver, no solo vemos un nuevo programa, vemos una victoria hacia una energía asequible, fiable y libre de combustibles fósiles para todos. Estamos profundamente agradecidos con la alcaldesa Wu, al Consejo Climático, a nuestros socios de la administración, a la subsecretaria Antos, a nuestros socios en Eversource, National Grid, pero sobre todo a los innumerables grupos de organizaciones comunitarias y residentes que se han unido a nosotros en el esfuerzo de garantizar que las facturas de energía sean más baratas, que nuestros hogares sean más saludables para todas nuestras familias. Gracias. Ahora en inglés. Espérenme. Ay, aquí las notas. Espérenme un momento, gracias. Okay. so my notes aren't in English, but nonetheless. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grace Money. I'm the Energy Justice Director at Boston Climate Action Network, also known as BCAN. And for the last 25 years, we have rooted ourselves in the truth that the transition to renewable energy and clean energy can really only be done when the community trusts in us. We still find neighbors that find programs like Mass Save confusing, that they work too much and that they feel like they don't have enough time to participate, or that they actually haven't even heard of it. And so that's where we come in. For decades, our organization has dedicated ourselves to making energy efficiency possible for all of our residents. And especially during these times when energy bills are rising, it's when we hear the name Boston Energy Saver, we don't just think of another new program. We see a victory towards accessible, affordable energy that's reliable and that is fossil fuel free for everyone. So we're profoundly grateful to Mayor Wu, the Climate Council, our partners in the administration, Subsecretary Antos, as well as our partners in Eversource and National Grid. But above all, we are innumerably grateful to all of the community groups and residents that have come together with us over time in this city to help us ensure that we lower our energy bills and healthier homes are within reach for all of our families. Thank you.
Okay, so I've got about like 2 to 3 more hours of remarks I'd like to make. Just kidding, we've made it. You're all gonna be warm soon, but we'd be happy to take some questions now. You all really want to get into a warm, comfortable place, don't you? Last call? Okay, thank you everyone.